back, party people. I heard from a bird that you want to learn how to make chocolate chip cookies. And not to brag or anything, but that's literally what I'm known for. Do you know Josie? I know Josie. She makes great chocolate chip cookies. Yes, I do. And today, I'm gonna teach you. One is washing your hands, which I just did, and pulling up your hair, because it's about to get hot in here. Hot in here. It's getting hot in here. So take a fire. I'm gonna get sued. Everything you can mix with your hands. I personally like to use the hand mixer because while it mixes, I can do stuff. So today I'm gonna be using a KitchenAid, but you can literally mix all of this with your hand and it'll be the exact same.
Guys, I adjusted my setup.
Get yourself a cook bag.
Ah, my goodness. So I see whenever I find recipes and I just screenshot them, they're never to be found again. It doesn't matter if you go to your photo apps and search chicken, you're gonna find 12 chicken recipes, only one that you've used. So if you find something and you like it, add it to your little thing. For instance, my little cookie recipe, I'll go to the dessert section. Bam, right there. Okay, and while we're here, I'm gonna read out everything you're gonna need for this. You are going to need 1 cup of brown butter, 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 cup white sugar, 1 tablespoon vanilla, 2 eggs, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 2 cups and 2 tablespoons of flour, chocolate bar, and chocolate chips. Some people use dark chocolate. I like to use milk chocolate because I think it tastes better. And that's the traditional amount of ingredients you need. However, oh my goodness, did you guys see how dark it just got? However, it is just me and Grace. And so I will be halving this recipe. Start off by setting your oven to 350 degrees. Is you're gonna brown butter. Now, if you're like, Josie, what is brown butter? Butter that's brown. I'm actually just joshing with you. Brown butter is the separation of milk fats from milk solids. And when you do it, it's supposed to bring out more flavor. And so that's why we brown the butter. We brown butter for flavor and pretty much it. It brings out the nuttiness and it's just fabulous. And yeah, now I'm gonna teach you how to brown butter.
My recipe, by the way, this came from a lady named Sadie in a random comment section from TikTok that is just fantastic.
We wouldn't use a light colored pot, but to show you how to brown butter, that's what I'm using. But if you can use just like a regular dark pot, use that one. I'd use a pan that's dark on the inside. Great pan, love it to pieces. But since I'm showing you how to brown butter, we're gonna use this pan, that way you can really see what I'm doing. Typically, this recipe requires 1 cup of butter. But since I'm halving it, we are gonna take half of a cup of butter. We're just gonna toss it in our pan and turn our pan on about medium heat. For our butter to melt, we are gonna go ahead and just do a little improv. So we're gonna pool half a cup of white sugar. But I really meant to say prep.
A cup of brown sugar. You should notice the bubbling. That is good. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna take our little silicone spatula and we're just gonna kind of stir it around. You know, let her have her moment. Now we're just gonna leave it for that butter. We're just gonna do a little mix.
I really just want that white sugar and brown sugar to get incorporated.
Look like this. Let it look like this. You can do a little 1-2 if you want, but we're just gonna leave her alone. Beautifully incorporated, so we're just gonna leave that. Start noticing that your bubbling is really now foaming and it is rising. You see how that's starting to brown and caramelize? Let's do a little mix. You see how that butter is now mixing up? You can see how now it's brown butter. What you're gonna wanna do is take it off the pot. Because if you don't, you could burn the butter, which is not good. But what you're looking for is for it to be a nice amber caramely color. That is what we like to see.
Our next step is to take this brown butter and we are gonna put it coinkadinkly in that same bowl that, oh, did you hear that scrape? Terrible. We're gonna put it in the same bowl that we had our sugars in. Like that, scrape your sides. Please, we don't want any of this good stuff. Like, you know, they would call it nectar if we were in the Grecian times. Because the Greeks were a little weird, okay? They believed in Greek gods, which is bonkers. And now, we're gonna do a little mix up. Before we put in the egg, my apologies.
It should look like this when the butter and all the sugars are fully incorporated.
The next step is we're gonna add in 1 egg. Again, should be 2, but I'm halving this recipe. If one of you guys come for me and be like, Josie, this turned out terrible. Why did it come out so loose? Because I'm halving it. I don't even know why it would come out loose. Like, I don't even know how cookies would come out loose. But we're gonna add in 1 egg, and then, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be disgusting and opening, oh my goodness. Break. So now that we have added in our little egg, we are just gonna do a little mix, do a little swallow la la la. And then we're gonna take this, and it says 1 tablespoon. I do it until my heart desires. Well, it should be half tablespoon because we're halving. Once all of that is mixed, we're gonna be calling our friend out of retirement, and we're gonna be replacing everything because you don't want to really, like, this isn't a cake. So we want to, like, rather than, and now we are going to add in 2, no, I literally am lying to you. Okay, if we cut it in half, we are going to add in 1 cup and 1 tablespoon of flour. So this is half of a cup because we've lost all of our 1 cups and someone needs to get on that. And I really feel like it should be me, but you know, we just kind of have to see how everything pans out. This is also 1/2 of a tablespoon. It's not a full tablespoon, but it's what I found, and look at that, it worked. Finally, something we actually need a half for. So we're gonna add in 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Like, when I say soda, I just wanna see it in like a northern accent. You know, so I'm from Wisconsin, soda. Oh my goodness. And we're also gonna take 1/2 of a teaspoon of baking powder, which I could say in an accent. I don't know, like baking powder. No, that someone's gonna call me racist. I'm gonna take this little chocolate bar. I'm gonna chop, chop, chop. I feel like I can't be showing the knife too much because I'm gonna get taken out. Look at that, it's done. Okay, but first, genuinely, we're gonna do a little mix of our dry ingredients before we put any of our chocolate in, just to get it a little incorporated. See how this is mixed in a little bit, but still not all the way? That's good. We don't want it mixed all the way because then it's gonna make it really hard to add chocolate chips. Stop moving your phone. No one's gonna be able to follow you. And then I chose not to listen to myself. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna, oh my goodness. Just gonna add in our little chocolate chunks. Look at that. I am actually making a mess. Do you guys see the mess that I've now made on my counter? You don't, because I don't know how to angle my phone that way. But know it is there, know it is square, and know that that's not all the chocolate we're gonna add. So I'd say you do like 2 chocolate bars. I like to do a chocolate bar and some chocolate chips. I know I'm gonna get hate for the Hershey's. Okay, you're gonna be like, Josie, that's not real chocolate chips. Real chocolate chips are expensive. Okay, like these are actual chocolate chips, but a lot of people use like baking melting chocolate chips. Like the Ghirardelli, it'll say like melting chocolate. That is not what I'm using because this is what we had at home. And so I'm just gonna say that's pretty good. I threw the whole bag in, which could be too chocolatey for some, but my family likes it, so it'll be okay. Now it's gonna look something like this. Look how cutesy she looks. Totally feel free to eat some of the batter. There is raw egg in it, so don't eat too much or you'll die. And now I'm gonna do a little bake. I know a lot of bakers are like, oh, you should roll it up, put it in the fridge, that way you have a nice eat. I ain't got time for that. Okay, if I'm making cookie dough, I want the chips now. And so I'm gonna go ahead and bake them, but totally feel free to put them in your freezer, put them in your fridge, or do whatever you want. So now that we have all of our dough made, we are gonna put them in the oven. But first, we gotta do 2 things. 1, parchment paper, and 2, put the dough on the paper. So what I like to do is I kind of like to do like a rough measure. You see what I did there? And then someone showed me this hack. Instead of blindly tearing, you're gonna push this inside the parchment paper, and it's supposed to make it come out nice and evenly. So, I mean, still better than I could do if I was just free balling. I'm gonna set that one right there. And then you guys won't have to watch me do this whole thing because I know it's gonna bore you because we have no attention span these days. Boom. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We are gonna take this and set it down because we don't need it. Take this. We are just gonna do 1 little scoop. Instead of like, oh, we'll just scoop it onto the sheet. I don't think so. So we're gonna scoop it into our hands. Clean hands. I washed my hands before Grace came in and started filming. And then we're just gonna kind of do this. And we're gonna make it look like a rocket ship, essentially. So we're gonna kind of squeeze up. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm I'm gonna have a nice little base right here, but I'm gonna squeeze up. Now you're gonna be like, Josie, this looks ugly. And I'm gonna agree with you, because who's gonna eat a cookie that looks like this? But the reason I make it look like a little rocket ship, like so, someone could do it better or worse. But the reason I make it look like a little rocket ship is because when that heat touches it, this is gonna slowly push down and make that thick bakery style that you like. And so I am gonna do a few more of these, and I'll show you when we're ready to get them in the oven. Okay, so now that, it's crazy editing, right? Now that all these are done, we're gonna put them in the oven. Now the reason I use this little teensy weensy little scooper is because you wanna try to make these even. You don't have to use a scooper, you can use your hand. But we try to make them kind of even, that way they will cook evenly. As you can see, I've put 5 on here. I've kept them decently spread out because these cookies will spread. They will not stay in one place, and you're gonna be like, Josie, what? And so now we're gonna put that in there. Try not to burn myself, but it's been known to happen. Listen, I am Caucasian. I burn in the sun, and in the kitchen, I burn in the oven. So, I'm gonna scooch down here. I'm gonna set this up here, like so, and I'm gonna check back in 9 minutes. They should cook from 9 to 11, so usually take them out at 9. They look good, keep them. If they're like, oh, I could use another minute or two, I'll keep them in for about 10 and 30 seconds. Okay, so as you can see here, like the bottom, not burnt. I do have to say, I told you guys, set a timer. I did not set a timer. So these really do have the potential to be overbaked. Now, if you didn't put them into the cone shape, you see how this is really thick right here? This would be a lot flatter. It'd be flatter and there'd be a little more holes in it, I guess you could say. You'll have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But since we did put it in that cone shape, that is why we're gonna get this thicker part of the cookie. You might say, Josie, it doesn't look perfect. I never said I was perfect. So now what we're gonna do, they just came out of the oven like 30 seconds ago. We're just gonna douse them in salt, okay? Like the thing of me is like throwing the dice. Thank goodness. But the reason we put the salt in there is to A, break up the sweetness, and B, add a little flavor. So you might say, Josie, this does not look like the easiest way to do it. You could be right. I know a few bakers who end up putting the salt on before they throw it into the oven. That way it's really nice and even. But I say, do it with your heart. You also say, Josie, that's a lot of salt. A lot of it went on the parchment paper because I didn't want to get stick. So now, for all intents and purposes, we're gonna take a bite. I wanna first open it up in the middle. Show you that. The inside is ooey, gooey, and it tastes, I'm about to burn my tongue. Hot! Hot, but no. Okay, so, took a bite. It was really hot, but it was really good. But if you're gonna take it out immediately, remember how I said earlier how people use melting chocolates? As you can see right here, we still have the structure of that chocolate chip. If we would have used melting chocolates, we would no longer have that structure. Instead, it'd all just be like, but the chocolate bar is what gave us that little, so we're all good. Ready? ASMR. Can't hear. I probably can't hear. But it's really good. I had a fun time watching. There's Grace right there. And now you know how to make the perfect chocolate chip cookie.